Hi, I'm Hakan.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're both head instructors and managers here at the Australian Martial Arts Academy. Today we're going to be talking about how you can best communicate with your kids about the concept of bullying. And it's such a tough situation because there can be emotions involved, and being parents, we're extremely protective of our kids, so we want to ensure that we're doing it the right way.
Yeah, you're hitting the nail right on the head. Sometimes it's really hard to start the conversation as a parent. And the tricky part with being a parent is that we want what's best for our child.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, the typical conversations that we're having with a child around bullying is, if anyone ever hits you, hit them back, or
make sure no one ever pushes you. Make sure no one ever says a bad word towards you. So
don't ever let someone speak to you like that.
Yeah.
Rather than enabling with strategies, we're just talking about the outcome that we expect our child to have.
Definitely. Now, it's true, right? These are all true. We don't want anyone to do this to our kids. However, bullying is quite common. Now, if it does happen, Miss Sarah, how can that certain child feel if they do get bullied at school?
Yeah, especially so if this child's been told you're not allowed to be bullied, don't ever let someone speak to you and they get bullied, I often find that they're really reluctant to tell their parent.
Definitely.
And the parent finds out really later on, much later on, when the child's really not going to school and all those signs of bullying have manifested. And so something that we always encourage our parents to do is to really have an open line of communication with your child. And to let them know that at some point you probably will be bullied. And that's okay, because you have so many strategies at your fingertips to deal with bullying, and you have so much support. So if ever it goes like that, just like it's normal to have good and bad days, it's normal to have good friends, bad friends, and friends who are bullies sometimes as well.
That's right. So it's really setting them up for success early on, providing them with the strategies, providing them with the positive moral support, and preempting them that it might happen in the future. Another example, guys, is we see that sometimes kids are afraid to tell their parents about bullying because they don't want to get further embarrassed. So what can happen is if a child tells their parent about bullying, then the parent brings the school or speaks to the principal then passes it on to the class teacher, it's then brought up in class, the rest of the students find out about it, and then the child feels even further embarrassed. So there are certain...
And usually even, Mr. Hakan, it's not the fact that that's done badly by the parent or by the school, it's that when you're a child, anything that your parent does to you is embarrassing that's outside of normal.
Definitely.
We get embarrassed that our teacher is talking to our parent. So just minimizing that stress around it and making sure that the child knows that you are there to help them and support them, and it's not a secret or anything like that, and you're there to look after them, is the important part.
So I guess, how do we combat this issue? It really comes down to consistent daily communication with your child. We understand it can be tough for your kids to kind of explain their day to you, and sometimes they want to give you short, sharp questions, but we really want to elaborate. We really want to get them to explain what they did at lunchtime, what activities did they did in class, who did they play with. The more we can get out of them, the more emotions they're going to show, and we might be able to pick up on some early signs of bullying. But I guess that the daily communication is very, very important.
And if you are worried about communicating, I always ask these 3 questions. The first one is there any bullies at your school? Are there any bullies at your school? The second question that I ask is there anyone in your class who has been bullied before? Do any of your friends get bullied? And what this does is it normalizes the situation, and it doesn't put stress or that ability to be able to answer a question right on the spot for something that makes them nervous. It takes the scenario away from them for a second, and then finally you come up with that question. So is there anyone, does that kid who bully other kids, or is there any other kids at school who ever pick on you or try to do those things to you? And then that way it's kind of minimizing the severity of it so that they feel comfortable to be able to communicate with you and open up.
Hopefully this video has helped, guys. Bullying is something we're extremely passionate about. We want to ensure that our kids are safe, they're well equipped to ensure that they're able to tackle it if it does ever happen to them, and ultimately we want to make sure it never happens. So see you guys soon. Thank you so much.